Welcome to Scripture Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're talking about the commandments of God, and specifically the 10 commandments. And the first commandment is, you shall have no other gods before me, because laws are constructed on principles. Now, and spiritual principles, and they're constructed on the foundation of God. In every society, in every culture, the laws are created to protect what each culture believes that God has given to them, or the revelation of who God is. So this is universal to mankind. If you don't believe in a God, they create governments that don't allow you to worship God because they don't believe in God, and so they want to block God out. The problem is, it's innate within every person that God exists, and they know that, and there is a search within man, within every lost person, to want to know, is God real and who is He? So laws a lot of times can be negative, but the true law, the law of God, is liberating. It is freedom. And He says, you shall have no other gods before me. Now, I say this because in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 8 through 10, it says, but we know that the law is good. See, a lot of times in our culture today in the United States, laws are bad. We need to get rid of all laws. No, you can't get rid of all laws. There's always going to be laws. There will always be rules. There will always be these things from outside of us that try to direct us and guide us to a particular way of believing or thinking or behavior. A culture cannot exist without laws. And so he reminds us, for those of us that want to complain about the laws and how bad they are and how horrible they are, some are, but not all laws are bad. He says, but we know that the laws, now he's talking about a pagan country, a country that is not believing in God necessarily. He says, but we know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully. If one uses it lawfully. See, laws need to be just. They need to be for everyone and applied equally for everyone. Unjust laws, I should say it this way, laws become seemingly unjust because they're only used against or for a particular group of people. And when that goes to the extreme, it becomes bondage and slavery and tyranny. Well, our founding fathers knew that God has created within every person and endowed us with the pursuit, with the freedoms of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they believed government was here to protect, specifically to protect the rights that God has given to us. He says, but we know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully, knowing this. Now listen, the law is not made for a righteous person, but for the lawless. Think about that. The law is not made for the righteous person. We say, well, that doesn't make any sense. You just said that every nation has laws, every organization has laws, they have rules, they have precepts. Yes, but if you're righteous, talking about the righteousness of God, if you live righteously, you're not going to violate the life, the liberty, or the pursuit of happiness of other people. Now think about it. If I'm living right, I'm not going to cheat, lie, steal, kill, lust, destroy. I'm not going to take away that which belongs to somebody else. Why? Because I'm living right. I'm doing the right thing. And see, we want to put, well, all laws are bad. Well, if you're living righteously, you don't even come into contact with the laws. I tell you, if you're driving on the highway and you're doing the speed limit at 70 miles an hour, if you stay, they always give you 5 miles grace, but if you stay under 75, you'll not get pulled over. Why? Because you're not breaking the law. You say, well, I want to go 120. Well, now there you have a problem. Let's see if I'm living right. He said, well, those are arbitrary rules of men. They may be arbitrary in some cases, but they're there for a reason, for a purpose, to protect you. And when you realize that they're there to protect you, you're not going to violate the law, because you know, if I violate the law, if I go above the speed limit, I can get myself into trouble. And see, the law is there to keep you out of trouble. The law is there to protect you if it's a just law. So if I don't speed, if I don't violate the law, I'm living within the principle. I am living righteously. I'm living right. Again, the law is not made for a righteous person, but for the lawless. Let me finish this. and the insubordinate, for the ungodly, for sinners, for the unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, of manslayers, of fornicators, of sodomites, for kidnappers, for liars, for perjurers, and if there is any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. See, this is the thing. Laws are here to set limits. Laws are here to protect us from going astray and doing things that will harm us and destroy us. Laws are here to protect you. This is why God gave laws. This is why every culture, every society, every community has laws to protect the people, and just laws protect the people from being violated by other people, to protect your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.